Something that's been hard to find in the turmoil of 2020. Good news. Well, here is some about food prices, a trend that was spotted by the Colorado Cattlemen's Association and the Colorado Farm Bureau, confirmed as well by a local butcher, saying meat prices are starting to moderate. And there's another trend in beef that might surprise you as well. So our buddy 9 News senior reporter Mark Kobrick wants to help you with your money. And Mark, it looks like you're holding the surprise today. Experts say the bigger cut, that's the way to go.
Actually, that's a tomahawk steak. It's big for a tomahawk. 3 people had to carry it to my car. It's a big steak. It's a ribeye, actually. And Daniel Rosacci, who's a local butcher, he runs Tony's Meats and Markets. He says you're going to be seeing a lot of these bigger cuts because all the cattle that have been in the supply chain have been at pasture or in feedlots for extra weeks. And as a result, they've put on weight. And what's happened is they're going to produce bigger steaks, bigger cuts, and you're going to see pieces of meat like this. I mean, this is incredible. It's thicker than my wrist. There's another incredible trend that Daniel noticed, confirmed by the Colorado Cattlemen's Association and the Colorado Farm Bureau, and that is that prices for these beautiful cuts are beginning to moderate.
Typically in America, we process about 550,000 head of cattle per week across America. Right now, a few weeks ago, it was down to about 400,000. So with that, again, I think there's a lot of animals out there at pasture. So I believe the end is in sight. I think it's going to start softening. I think the prices, I believe, kind of peaked, I would say, last week as far as what I'm seeing coming in. But I'm also starting to see just a little bit of softening today. I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll see more and more softening of prices and more cattle and pork out there in the stores.
And consumers really need some relief. Daniel says wholesale prices on chuck, round, brisket, and flank were up 145 to 180%, mostly affecting your roast and ground beef prices. Meat products known as steak primals in the beef industry, such as New York strip, ribeye, top sirloin, and T-bones, they were up 100 to 120%. Poultry, however, remains an excellent value. Daniel says that industry has taken small hits. That most of the poultry houses, he says, are back open and close to full production, and pork is beginning to recover as well. Wholesale prices for pork almost doubled, but compared to beef, pork is still a great value with most high-quality cuts under $7 to $8 a pound. So the good news about it is that it looks as though we are beginning to recover. We're coming out of that moment when meat was so expensive. I should tell you, however, Tom, grocery stores say they're not seeing the wholesale price effect yet, the moderation in prices, because they are still under such demand. They're just trying to meet the demand for beef, and they haven't seen any softening of prices on their end yet.
So things are moderating, but does anyone say along the food supply chain that the prices may go back to pre-coronavirus lows?
And they're saying no. The industry had been under such upheaval and chaos, and they've implemented so many new practices in the processing plants that, yes, they will moderate. Prices are going to drop, but they will probably never go back to what they were pre-coronavirus. We have so many new safeguards in the industry, most particularly for the workers, which is a good thing, that we probably won't see prices drop back to pre-corona.
Yep, another way the world's changed. Mark, it's always good to see you. Thanks again.